Well, hello, everyone. Except for all the little white supremacist trolls that are inevitably going to show up in this stream. But don't you worry, I have a team of mods that are going to take care of that because Joshua and I have important business. So, Joshua, I was just
Hi.
on I was just on a libertarian show and it was very exciting. And of course, like the white supremacist trolls came and took over the chat because they are targeting anyone and everyone and me because they have nothing to do else to do with their lives because they all have extraordinarily small penises and probably really bad sex lives and are just incels in their mom's basements. They have nothing else to do except to troll me. What drives people to be an internet troll, Joshua?
I don't know. No idea.
No? No
No.
insight? Why would someone, from a spiritual perspective, why would someone spend all their days trolling on the internet?
I think from a spiritual perspective, like we have our oversoul, right? The big kahuna soul, and then you have like this life and that life, and they're all going on concurrently. So there's no such thing as past lives. Like your life in 1860 is happening right now. So it's like there's no such thing as past lives. All of these lives are going on. So oftentimes, especially when you're dealing with people who have really strong hatred against some groups, usually what it is one of their alternative selves or parallel selves is actually of that group, and there's like tension in regard to that. So it's sort of like the attacking of themselves because they feel the familiarity but they can't get to it. It's almost akin to when somebody dies, right? We feel really, really, really sad, but we feel really sad because we can sense them around us, which they are, but they're not around us. So that creates a disparity in our feelings, and that causes us pain. So I think with people who are against, like really vehemently against other groups, typically it's because they have an alternative self or a probable parallel self that is of that group that they're having an issue with. So it's sort of ironic.
Well, it's a fun experience to go through, and I was wondering if you could psychic for me. Just off the top, we're gonna have a little personal question. Are they ever gonna effing stop? Is this ever gonna stop? Should I just hang it up now? Should I just retire? Because I'm sick of dealing with white identitarians on the internet.
Let's see. Will they stop, right? And tell me I should stop shuffling on that.
Stop.
Let's see. Will they stop? The Chariot, the Star, page one. I think so. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be an issue. I think the key is going to be emotional control. So it's sort of like you can't, with anything, you got to maintain your vibration and not allow yourself to be thrown about by what other people do or say. You have to maintain your emotional a sense of emotional control, like determining how it is that you want to feel and staying in your lane, irrespective of what's around you. So as long as people don't feed into that, like anger has one objective, and that's to reach out and create more anger. So if you disengage, the anger has to go someplace else.
Well, excellent. And KG super chats in. I did my best to defend in the previous stream. I don't like the bullies, and those trolls love to spread lies about you. Oh, do they ever? Do they ever? But you guys know the real deal because you can just come and hear from me myself. I'll answer almost any question. I'll tell you exactly what I think. It's funny because on the show that I was just on, well, actually, let me get back to that for a second because what I think you said was really interesting in terms of like, and this is something that you and I have talked about before in terms of like what angry people want is to create more anger. Joshua, I did a stream last night where I did call-ins. And I basically, like, when I do a call-in, like, I send them, like, a StreamYard link, just like I was sent to you, just like you have right here. And a whole bunch of people flood into the StreamYard, just like when you join. And I add them, and we just talk. And I don't know what these people are going to say because it's like a call-in show. That's part of the point. I had three white identitarians, legitimate white identitarians call in. And one of them, I felt so bad, 22-year-old kid. and like you could just tell from his body language, and like he was so hurt and he was so angry that he feels like throughout his entire life he's just been told that he's nothing because he's a white man and everything's working against him and he has toxic masculinity and his heritage means nothing. And it was like the saddest thing in the world. And like I understand why these people are angry. I just think it's incredibly, incredibly sad. And I guess the question I have is like, obviously I've had moments in all of this thing because it has not necessarily been the most pleasant thing to go through for many, many, many experiences. But like, how do you think I've been handling like being attacked by legitimate white supremacists? Like, am I managing my anger okay? What is your professional assessment?
I have been in and out of the picture. I think that, the last conversation that I had with you, you had in a really, really good spot. So I think that as long as you're distancing yourself from that energy, and like we can only experience the vibration we are of, and obviously people can egg us on, but I think that you've created more of a sense of detachment. I think the more detached you can be, the better. Of course, it's really difficult in your position when people are coming literally at you. But I think that, the detachment that you mentioned the other day or that you showed the other day was definitely, I think, awesome.
Kaylin K, your mods confused me for a troll. Carlin, they muted me. I love you. I talked to you in the DMs on Twitter. I got your back, girl. Hey, I'm sorry, guys. And just so you guys know, if you get muted or like accidentally blocked, we're dealing with a crisis here, guys. Okay, so like, just be patient. If you accidentally something happens, please just send me an email and I'll work it out. And don't mute that person again. Okay. But so I was just on this libertarian show, and basically like the trolls invaded his chat, and he was asking me all these questions, and it was like actually really disappointing because I'm so sick of people lying about me just for their own purposes. And like they spread these lies, and then I have to spend my time answering for these obvious lies instead of doing what I really want to do, which is to be focusing on critical race theory and pushing back against that. And it's the most frustrating thing in the world because I had to spend this whole show basically trying to prove I'm not a grifter. And like, I don't know, Joshua. Like what do you like? You have known me for a very long time. How long have you known me?
Oh my goodness.
Forever.
Yeah, forever,
basically.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And like, am I a grifter in any way?
I would not call you a grifter. No.
No. Why is that?
Because you're authentic and you say how you feel. And if being a grifter means getting some new intel or realizing something and changing your mind, then you're a grifter. But I think that that's just being a normal human being and a healthy human being that can actually assess new information and acquire new thoughts that make them change their mind about things. But I wouldn't say that you're a grifter in the way that they say it. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you for that. Cindy Chastain says Tuesday night is my favorite, and trolls better not ruin it. Yeah, trolls stay away. So on the show, I should also tell you that, and last thing before we'll do our introduction, don't worry. But
Okay.
so I know you were like sweating it there. You're like, this is actually the most important part of the show is the introduction. Come on.
I think so.
But so the guy whose show I was just on, he was telling me that his wife or fiance, I guess, last week watched our show and was like laughing hysterically. So hopefully we can do another good show tonight. Guys, welcome to Nothing Remotely Controversial. This is a show that Joshua and I do every Tuesday night at 9:30, whether there are trolls in the chat or not, where I talk about the news and what's going on in the world. And I might need your guys' help with that tonight because honestly, I haven't really been paying attention. And Joshua, who is a professional psychic, uses his psychic and tarot card powers to peer beneath the surface and let us know what's really going on. And it's meant to be a fun show, guys. We have a psychic. Like, it's meant to be fun. It's not meant, this is meant for levity and joy and happiness and no white supremacy. No white supremacy allowed. All right. So we have this from Scott Johnson to kick us off. Oh, by the way, guys, you can send in super chats if you want Joshua to answer your question. You get to choose the amount of the super chat. But we just ask if you send in a super chat to ask a question that you keep it a high level question that is like I don't even know. I don't even know what's going on with this voter rights bill. I don't even know what question to ask this week. But not a low level question like should I move to Los Angeles? Which of course the answer is no.
I mean, it depends on where in LA.
No, it doesn't depend on where in LA, Joshua.
It is paradise. The weather is anyway.
What are you talking about? LA sucks. LA is like one of the worst cities ever.
I can swim outside in January. Just saying.
You can swim outside in January in a lot of different places that are not Los Angeles. I'm just saying. You can also swim outside in places where you can pay less taxes than Los Angeles, that don't have smog, that don't have inauthentic people, that you can actually walk places and do stuff. You live in the worst city in the world. Just admit it.
That is totally not true. There are plenty of worse cities than Los
All right, getting back to Scott Johnson here. Can you tell me 2% of the population disproportionately represents 75% of Biden's cabinet? I don't know what this means, Scott. Joshua, do you have any idea what this means?
No, Scott, keep it English.
Scott, I have no idea what this means. I'm sorry. Can you send in a clarification in the chat? As we're doing that, in the meantime, Joshua, I have another question. This is a very, very, very important libertarian-related question.
Ooh, okay.
Because last week, I had you psychic. So you know the great libertarian saga of the takeover of the New Hampshire Libertarian Party that we talked about last week.
With Joletta.
With Joletta, yes. And last week, you psychicked that Joletta colluded with one Nick Sarwark. and an additional third person, which we now think is his wife Valerie, which would make sense because like they're married. Of course, anything that Nick knows, Valerie is going to know. Well, the coup attempt failed. Apparently, the motion to dismiss Karen Ann Harlos and inevitably Josh Smith after that from the LNC has also failed, and it seems as though there has been almost total and complete victory on our part. However, as a part of this, the chairman of the Libertarian Party, Joe Bishop Henchman, resigned. He resigned because he was basically caught in colluding as a part of this plot. And he revealed his cards and he had to resign. So now the chairmanship of the party is open. And here is the next question. Will Nick Sarwark, who we think colluded with Joletta, will Nick Sarwark run for that position?
And what's the name of the position again?
Chairman of the Libertarian Party or committee or whatever the heck.
And say his name again?
Nick Sarwark.
And tell him when to stop shuffling.
Stop.
Will he run for chair of the committee?
Mm-hmm.
6 of Swords, King of Pentacles, 10 of Wands. I doubt it. I don't think that he needs to do that. I mean, again, like he's going through a transition. The King of Pentacles is like big money. Does he have a lot of money or something?
I have no idea. I don't know.
And then you get 10 of Wands. I'd be surprised.
Well,
I'd be surprised. It feels like he's going through a transition. He has plenty of money and doesn't need the stress and the pressure. There's like a lot of pressure on him if he does. So.
That's a little bit of a disappointing answer. I even had a follow-up question already planned. Hey, so you know that super chat we got before that we asked for clarity?
Mm-hmm.
That was a Jew joke. That was a joke about Jews, is what that was.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Because as it turns out, Joshua and I are actually not white identitarians or supremacists. So when you make jokes about Jews, we don't respond to them because we don't think in those terms. But hey, at least I got $5 out of it. We got $5 out of it, Joshua. We can each buy like a pack of gum.
Maybe.
All right, guys. I really have no idea what to talk about tonight, and you guys aren't sending in super chats. So I don't know, Joshua. What's going on in the world? Anything happening? We can just make this up as we go.
Well, astrologically, because that's my lane, we actually have gone direct. Mercury has gone direct as of today.
Excellent. What does that mean?
So over the past 3 weeks, Mercury, the planet of communication, has slowed down.
I just had an epiphany. So under Mercury retrograde, because you're basically like an unofficial divorce lawyer. Under Mercury retrograde, people are not to start wars, right?
No, that's Mars retrograde.
God damn it.
Yeah, you don't want to start a war under Mars retrograde or file for divorce or fire the first shot. Like in the old days, when you did that under Mars retrograde, like if countries did, they would invariably lose the war. So with Mercury retrograde, it's a little bit different. Communications, whatever you start under a Mercury retrograde winds up not being what you had expected. Doesn't mean it's necessarily bad, but like say you start a job or you interview for a job under the retrograde, it might not be a terrible job that you wind up getting, but it's going to be very different from what you had signed up for.
Dang, well that's bad news. I was gonna make a crack about someone white supremacists starting a war with me under Mercury retrograde, but I guess it doesn't matter. All right, KG hooked us up though with our first super chat of the night.
Ooh.
Will a libertarian ever be president?
Let's see.
And guys, please make sure to mount that like button while Joshua is shuffling, because God knows we have to counteract.
Will a libertarian ever be president?
Yes.
And I'm going to stop shuffling on that.
Stop.
Let's see here. The Magician, Ace of Pentacles, 10 of Swords. Yikes.
No.
I think in the far, far, far future, but I feel that this is what I hear. There's something going on with the Libertarian Party over the next 4 or 5 years that it doesn't look that wonderful. So they need to really get their shit together and button things up, because it does seem like there could be some stuff that makes it difficult for them to be a contender, say, for president. Do you know what I mean?
All right. Hear that, Libertarian Party? Get your shit together. Yeah, like a really, a much more organized sense of like checks and balances and making sure that everybody's on the same page. Do they have like bylaws or like... Oh, they have so many fucking bylaws. They have bylaws out the wazoo. They have bylaws for everything. Good. Because in the future, I feel like somebody could be a contender in the future, but my concern is like there being some kind of issue or some kind of scandal. So it's not just about hookers and blow, libertarians. You got to win elections at some point. Hookers and blow? Well, they want to legalize everything. Wow. Yeah. Dragon Water, sorry, power went out. Is there white identity? Is it okay? So this is a good question. I mean, this goes along with all the trolls in the chat. Is there a rising white identitarian movement in our country right now? Let's see. I already know the answer to this. Is there a white identitarian movement? So like more of a rise in which they're going to be like visible? Yes. More visible? Yes. And I'm going to stop shuffling on that. Stop. Three of Wands, Judgment, Seven of Cups. I wouldn't say that it's anything that's going to be stabilized. So yeah, there is like leadership. There's like leadership and stuff going out there, and there's definitely going to be, you're going to hear from them. But with the Seven of Cups, it's going to essentially dissipate. So it's sort of like you might, it's like a flare that goes out. It doesn't like last forever. You know what I mean? So I think that anything that rises or seems to be bigger, it's going to dissipate. It's not going to be something to worry about. Well, thank God for that, because I mean, like, I feel like one of the reasons I've been sounding the alarm bell so hard on this is because like this needs to get nipped in the bud now. And I've now seen what's going on, and it's like, it's not good. And I think as many people need to know about it as possible, and people need to take it seriously. I am not exaggerating when I say legitimate white supremacists. I'm not. So, and if you guys ever thought I was woke, I don't even know like how people think I am, but like whatever. Anyway, Charm3XS wants to know, has Bill Maher been red pilled? Was it the woke ideology and the indoctrination of children that pushed him? Joshua, has Bill Maher been red pilled? I don't know what Bill Maher is doing. Do you know? I mean, I always thought he was incredibly liberal, but I guess as of late, he actually probably, as the Charmed3XS states, that the woke ideology probably did like make him think in another way. Well, let's see. Has he been red pilled? Has Bill Maher is his name, right? Yes, sir. And I'm going to stop shuffling on that. Stop.
Seven of Swords, the Tower, and Four of Cups. So it's interesting. If he, has like essentially, it does look like he's going to be keeping to himself if he has been red pilled. But with the Tower card, my feeling is that he might, do similar to what I believe Dennis Miller did at one point, because he at one point was incredibly one way and went the other. But with the Tower card, there's going to be a reordering of his values and a restructuring of them at a later time. He's very smart. I believe his birthday is January 20th or January 19th, which makes him Capricorn Aquarius. And with all of that, most likely, we'll find out. But, he's going to make sure that he's not going to put himself in, a compromising position. But I think eventually he's actually going to come out probably as Republican. But he seems so independent energetically. Like, I think it's really tough for him to be swayed one way or the other. Let me just see. He's the 20th. So I'm just curious if he's Aquarius or Capricorn. No, he's Aquarius, 0 degree Aquarius.
No.
So, that's very, Seven of Swords. They're going to keep their thoughts to themselves until they're actually ready to communicate to them. But yeah, in true Aquarian fashion, there might be a shocking thing. I think that he will. I think that he will come out with that. Not necessarily now, though. It's not safe for him to do so now.
Oh no, I mean I wouldn't think so. But I mean I think it's like only a matter of time with him. I mean he's I think relatively smart guy.
Oh yeah, he's a great communicator. I mean, terrific sense of humor. I love when him and Anne go at it. That's my favorite.
I don't like Anne. You like Anne. I don't like Anne.
I do like Anne.
Black Magic, could you please set Nuclear 1-2 free? He's a friend of mine from Adam's chat. Thank you. I appreciate your time and kindness. Yeah, I will look into that, and I'm sorry if he got wrongly banned. It's just been a heck of a week, so my apologies, and I will look into that. Will America do well in the Olympics this year, Joshua? What a fun question.
I love that question.
Yeah, I have a follow-up question to this one, too.
Will America do well in the Olympics this year? Will America do well in the Olympics this year? And tell me whenever I should stop shuffling on that.
Stop.
Will America do well in the Olympics this year?
Yes.
4 of Cups, Ace of Cups, 9 of Wands. So there'll be some wins, but some teams need to definitely, I think, work a little bit harder. My concern is there are some countries that are really, really bringing it. So there will be some wins. I think some surprises. Some not so surprises, like of course they were going to win. But with nine of Wands, yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with now, like the state of preparation. They have to work very, very hard. So they're nearing a cycle of completion. I think that they'll do well, but I feel like there are some teams that are working a little bit harder or smarter. And it's sort of like, how that happens. Like we all do that, right? We think it's in the bag. I don't have to work that hard. I'm going to run away with the race altogether. And sometimes it doesn't always work out that way. And I feel like some teams, that's like the issue. They're a little bit overconfident. And the big thing I get is too, the old ways won't work. So like in terms of training, of course, like there's a certain protocol, but I think that more training, different kinds of training is going to be important because it's like such a different energy. So like training for the Olympics in 2020 is going to be a different vibratory. Training is going to be needing to be a different vibratory state or a different vibration for 2021.
All right.
So places would do well to like mix things up and really implement new strategies and new tactics.
All right. Well, I have a follow-up question for this, but Dragon Water reminds everyone to probe that like button in honor of aliens, of course.
Okay, right
so
on.
We're probing the like button at the moment. Thank you, Dragon Water. So Joshua, there is going to be a trans woman in the Olympics this year in the category of weightlifting. And this is a big woman. Have you seen this woman?
I have not.
Oh, hey God. You're in for a treat.
Now, is this when you say trans woman? That means it was a man at one point who has become a woman. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that is correct. Hang on, I'm getting a picture up.
Like Caitlyn, Kate.
Yes. Well,
Okay.
not exactly. Not exactly. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Share. That's gonna that lady is gonna be in the Olympics this year in the women's weightlifting category.
Okay.
What are your thoughts? You look confused.
I mean, I don't understand. I mean, I guess my concern is, and again, I'm not a professional weightlifter.
No.
Contrary to what everybody might think, because I have such
I mean, I have
muscles.
You do have good muscles. I will say that. I've seen you in a tank top.
But I'm not professional. I guess my concern is like how can with like the because men naturally have more testosterone,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
why is our screens not? I can't see you as big as I usually see you. Oh,
Bing.
thank you. So men have naturally more testosterone than women do. So I guess I'm a little bit concerned about the disparity in terms of how they can effectively or fairly compete against women who by default. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't know. I'm not a doctor. Maybe this
Lady.
transsexual, yeah. Maybe this lady maybe has taken stuff to decrease her testosterone or increased her estrogen that makes it level. I don't know, but I would guess that it's not fair to put a woman up against a man biologically, you know.
But she's not a man. She's a lady.
Okay, right. But does that mean that all of this lady's testosterone from when she was a he has been stripped away?
Well, I believe so, but I actually think that this is going to be a turning point for the whole trans women in women's sports argument. And here's what I want you to psychic. Is Laurel going to win a gold medal at the Olympics?
And I'm going to stop shuffling on that.
Stop.
Will Laurel win a gold medal at the Olympics? High Priestess, Prudence, Nine of Swords. I mean, its potential is there with the Prudence. Like there's work to be done between now and then. It's sort of like, this is where the free will comes in. Like, are you going to win the race? Well, are you going to go drinking the night before? Then you won't. But if you get to sleep early, probably, right? Then we have Nine of Swords. It's leaning really toward no.
Oh.
I just think that it would cause more of like, because again, it's not just a matter of what they do. There's so much of it involves the optics and how things, appear, etc. So I think that I would be surprised. However, the potential is there, and if she works really hard, it's possible. But with Nine of Swords, I think it's too much of a heady thing to let her win, most likely, realistically, from the judge's perspective, because the judges have to call this. It's not like
well, no, she just has to lift more weight than the other competitors. I think. I don't know how weightlifting works. I have no idea. At least on the Olympic level. I know how weightlifting works in real life, but not on the
How
Olympic
is that? Like, okay, well, you got to really figure this out, because is this lady being stripped of all her testosterone that she had when she was a man? Because that I don't understand how that's fair. That just does not seem fair to me.
I don't understand it. I guess there's medication involved that brings testosterone down, but like I don't understand how it's fair that someone who went through male puberty is competing against women. I don't think it's fair. I don't.
Unless you're running testosterone and estrogen tests to make it sure it's level.
I don't really think it matters though, because they still went through male puberty. Their bones are different. Their body is fundamentally different. I don't think it's fair, especially when you're talking about weightlifting. Like, of all things, I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's right. I don't know what the answer to this question is. I want trans people to be able to compete in sports, but when we get to an elite level, we're talking about the minutest of differences making a difference between first place and last place. Like, it's not fair. There's a fundamental advantage, and I don't like it. I don't think it's good, and we'll see what happens.
I just don't like. The thing is that I think it makes no sense though to make it okay on a very, very small level, because these kids are growing up, they're developing talents. What is it? Well, they get to the top of their class and then it's like, sorry, you're over. It's like it needs to they either need to be able to compete early on or not. I don't think that it's a good idea to pull them out when they're about ready to hit the Olympics. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't seem very fair, and that could be very, I think, traumatizing, but it's such an interesting issue. Were there, we should really talk to a transsexual to get like the Scoobies on this, but like only over the past, I think, 5 years have I heard about this. Were there transsexuals in the 50s or 60s? And, did they,
I think there were. I would like to have Buck Angel on the channel at some point. I should reach out to Buck Angel. I think Buck Angel is awesome. Do you know who Buck Angel is?
I don't know.
So trans porn star, trans man, but like such a good attitude. I actually think you would really like Buck Angel, because like he's always just so happy and just has like a great attitude. And what he says is like, transitioning saved my life. Like, he's very against children transitioning, and medically anyway. Like, they call him Tranpa in the trans community, because he's been a mentor to a lot of other young trans kids. I would like to have him on the channel at some point. You should come and do an interview with me. We could do a special episode.
That'd be very cool, because I have a lot of questions about that, and especially it sounds like he may know a lot of the background, because this just seemed to come up out of the blue. Like in our lives, the whole, at least the awareness of transsexuals, really over the past, I'd say 8 years, for me anyway.
Yeah. Well, I'll have to look into that. But getting back to some super chats, because they're now flowing right in, Joshua. Thank you, everyone, for the support. And thank you especially to the mods in the chat who are doing such a great job. Jesse's Girl, leaked documents from Iowa school system show how teachers are forced to classify Make America Great Again as a type of racism and white supremacy. I did hear about that. I've looked over the documents. Actually, like, those documents, like the stuff that they used in that training, it's been used in other places as well. That's not unique to that particular training. I've seen those documents other places, so I may be working on something, a video about that. But it's Pork Fest week, so I don't know when I'm going to get a chance to do that. I got to drive 2 hours tomorrow to go to Pork Fest. Random admin, have you looked into these white identitarian guys you had a convo with? That 22-year-old looked and sounded in his late 30s, just seems fishy. I have looked into, I've actually had a lot of people send me information about that Patrick guy. He's not good. Not good. Actual white identitarian. So I have looked into him. I didn't look into that 22-year-old kid. And again, I really hope that 22-year-old kid realizes that the world isn't against him like he thinks it is, and that a lot of people will have his back, but not if he expects people to treat him differently based on the color of his skin. I'm sorry. Lori J, Joshua, thank you for your email answer to my gushing clear water in the garage dream. I appreciate you. Joshua's getting love today.
You're most welcome, Lori. I appreciate you. Yeah, water's such a good dream, usually. Do you have dreams about water? Have you had weird dreams lately? My dreams have been off the hook.
Really? I don't remember my dreams, Joshua. I always complain to you. Right. And you're always like, you'll remember your dreams when you want to. And I'm like, fuck you. I've tried everything and I don't remember them. And then you're like, have you kept a journal? And I'm like, yes. And you're like, no, you're lying. You didn't actually keep a journal. Yeah. Your pal, what are you drinking for next happy hour stream? Here's my contribution. Oh, thank you, your pal. I don't know that we're going to do happy hour this week because I am going to be at Pork Fest, and then I have to, Joshua, I have a 5:45 a.m. flight to Los Angeles on Saturday.
Ooh, well, I mean, if you're going to be on a plane at 5:45 a.m., it may as well be to Los Angeles.
That's I guess I am going to be in first class. I'm going to have a nice big seat to sleep in. So I made sure of that. I'm like, if I'm going to get up on the boat crash, if I'm going to leave Pork Fest early to get on a plane to come to Los Angeles to see you and to do other assorted activities that we're not going to discuss. And like, guys, like, so if anyone in Los Angeles, like, I'm only going to be in and out of Los Angeles this time, but I will be coming back the first week in July for something else. And for members of my locals community, we will be doing a meetup, like the first week in July, and I posted the dates on locals.
Are you going to be on the 4th of July?
Not for 4th of July. I think it's like on the 6th that I'm coming back to Los Angeles.
Right on.
But Joshua and I have a super secret thing that we're going to on Saturday that we're very excited about. We're not going to tell anyone what it is until after it happens. All right. Nico L says, will the entire cryptocurrency market recover to new all-time highs by the end of the year? Now, Joshua, you are not a financial expert.
No.
This is for entertainment purposes only. He is a psychic. He is not a financial planner. He's a psychic. Entertainment purposes only.
Reading should not be constituted as financial or legal or medical advice.
No, we are giving no advice of any kind. No advice that anyone should actually listen to in the real world.
My advice has helped a lot of people, but anyway, what is cryptocurrency going to actually return and get better? Because I think that they're not doing too hot.
I haven't even looked at my crypto all week. I have no idea what's going on. Will the entire cryptocurrency market recover to new all-time highs by the end of the year?
Say that one more time.
Will the entire cryptocurrency market recover to new all-time highs by the end of the year?
And I'm going to stop shuffling on that.
Stop.
Knight of Pentacles, the Emperor. I don't think so.
That's not the answer I wanted, Joshua.
I'm sorry, but I've always felt this way about crypto. I'm sorry. I do not think this is something that is worth investing in. I think what we see here is Knight of Pentacles, so it's going to be stable for a while. Then we're going to have some power, and then there's the Eight of Cups, which is walking away. There's going to be something better. There's a certain level of staying power that is somehow, for whatever reason, energetically, it just like dissolves. Like, isn't there something else new that's coming about that has a little bit more hope?
I really don't like this answer, Joshua.
I really don't like how everybody is putting energy into crypto and has such high hopes for it. I hope I'm wrong for the people who have invested in it, but it just does not seem...
I agree with Random Admin. You're lying. Don't lie to us. You are a killer of hopes and dreams.
I think there might be something better. I just, Mama always said, you better shop around. That's it. That's
Fine.
Yeah.
Joshua's never this negative. He's only this negative when we talk about crypto. This is the only time he's negative.
I don't know why. I think I don't know. Buyer beware.
All right. Well, Jay Ross says, should I move to Los Angeles? No.
Yes.
No.
Actually, what is that really a question? We can look at that.
No, he's joking. He's like kidding. Okay. What he really wants to know about is, will a red wave happen in 2022? And also his mom's surgery was complicated, but she's doing better. So glad to hear that, Jay Russ. Joshua, will there be a red wave in 2022?
2022?
Yes, there is an election next year. A midterm election. For the House and the Senate.
Oh. Will there be a red wave in 2022, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to stop shuffling on that.
Stop.
Will there be a red wave in 2022? There'll be progress. I wouldn't be like, it's going to take over the world.
Good.
There's this fear of failure, I think, probably because the last, Republican stuff that we had going on was rather derisive. But with Queen of Pentacles, there's more of like a grounded energy that's being put toward it. And with Three of Discs, this is like teamwork and competence. So things are happening, but it's not going to be as dramatic. I don't think anything will be as dramatic, especially if with Donald Trump not as heavily involved. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But there's going to be progress. It's not going to be dramatic. It's going to be very, very grounded. And again, remember, Earth signs, like it's slow and steady wins the race. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's not like pomp and circumstance like lightning. When we had Donald Trump, he has that, strong Sagittarius, Leo rising. He was like fire, just like lightning. That is not what I see happening. It's going to be much more earthy, much more pragmatic and practical.
All right. Excellent. Let's see. Charmed 3XS wants to know, when will we be free of these theories and get back to objective reality and fact-based history? So, and I'm going to assume this means like critical race theory, 1619 projects, stuff like that. Excuse me, I've been drinking soda all day. Joshua, when will we be free of these critical race theories? I really shouldn't drink soda, but...
And tell me when I should stop
Especially
shuffling.
not this soda, which is what I'm drinking. Stop.
Hold on, let me...
I totally I ruined it.
Okay, from the top. 5, 6, 7, 8.
When will we be rid of critical race theory?
And I'm going to stop shuffling on that.
Stop.
Two of Wands, the world, the moon. So there will always be proponents of that, right? With Two of Wands, there's always going to be that. With the world, like it has injected itself into our world, but so it's not going to just go away. But it will most likely, with the moon card here, dissolve and morph into something else. So it's not going to be, there's always going to be like strong proponents of it. But I think like anything, I don't know, other theories that I guess could be analogous. You would know better than myself, but I think it will eventually dissolve. In terms of time frame, yikes. I would say within the next 2 years, you're going to see it lessen and we're going to get to the moon, which is really good. But it has already been like, it has like a bite. It has like a hold already. So it's hard for it to sort of, disappear, but it will, I think, dissipate.
And this is why I would really like everyone to leave me the fuck alone, so I can work on actually fighting critical race theory and making progress in this area and not have to deal with trolls on the internet and Cassandra Fairbanks fucking around. And so I would really like everyone to leave me the fuck alone so I can focus on fixing this problem and not focus on dealing with you. This is a big problem. I'm getting really sick of this. I just want to fix critical race theory. That's all I want. That's all I care about. Leave me the fuck alone. Jesus Christ.
Leave her alone!
Leave me alone, goddammit! Get out of my life. Worse than the government, I swear to God. All right. KG wants to know, will AOC get reelected? Oh, the horror. Will AOC get reelected?
What is she again? Besides a crazy person?
Congress.
She's the congresswoman?
Yes, she's a congresswoman.
Will she get reelected?
Yes.
When's her reelection? 2022?
2022. Congress or House of Representatives every 2 years.
Will AOC get reelected? Say it again for me.
Will AOC get reelected?
And tell me when to stop shuffling on that.
Stop.
This girl, like her energy is like fucking crazy. Pardon my English. I know I have some Christian fans. I'm sorry for swearing. I'll try not to swear.
I'll swear for you. It's okay.
She probably will. Her energy is like it gives me like nausea. I feel like I'm on an amusement ride. You know what I mean? It looks good for her. 4 of Wands, so there's like, stability around her. She's completing a cycle, and she's definitely, maintains her strength. And with Ace of Cups, I think it's very, very likely that if she wants to get reelected, that she's going to. Yeah.
Well, Dragonwater says AOC is a Congress devil. We're never getting rid of her. I'm listening says we can't leave you alone if you don't stop having interesting live streams. My live streams lately have been lit. I've been doing like impromptu nighttime live streams where I just go live and I don't tell anyone because I want to avoid the trolls showing up and I actually want to have a conversation. And then they show up like half an hour into it. All the mods go into action. Everyone's blocking everyone else.
It's fun. Wow. Okay.
It's fun. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe, guys, I'll do another late night live stream tonight. Maybe. I'm not making any guarantees because I have to pack because I have to go to Pork Fest tomorrow. All right. Let me see. Where are we in super chats? Laura Budd says, howdy, howdy. My question is, will the American Southwest... This is such an interesting question. Oh my God. Joshua, you're going to have to predict the weather.
Can you pop it on the screen first too?
I can't, because so like the way StreamYard works, it's like they fly off the screen after a while and I can't get to them anymore. So I'm actually looking in the back end on YouTube now. I'm sorry. I apologize.
That's okay.
Will the I'm sorry. We had too many super chats. They came through. Will the American Southwest get enough rain to sustain the wildlife? People can bring water in, but animals can't, etc.
Will the American Southwest get enough water to sustain the animals? Is that correct?
Enough rain to sustain wildlife, yes.
The American Southwest?
Yes.
And so I'm going to stop shuffling.
Stop.
American Southwest, get enough rain to sustain the wildlife. The moon! 8 of Swords. Yikes. There's a rough cycle that's ahead, I'm sorry to say. It's a rough cycle. So it doesn't look very good. Not with 8 of Swords and 3 of Swords. But again, like, it's a moon thing, right? So it's like, you know, it's like a rough patch. You know, like there are cycles that are better and other cycles that are bad. And right now for the American Southwest, it's not a very good one. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, Joshua, guess what? The trolls have arrived, and I know my mods are going to do their job. Thank you, mods. I appreciate you and love you. Okay, Graphically Alex wants to know, the trolls are even interested in psychics. Like, Joshua, did you ever think that white supremacists would be interested in a psychic?
No.
But this doesn't seem very white supremacist to me.
No.
But they've arrived in time for a good question. One of their heroes, one of their patron saints. We're going to do a question about her. Will Lauren Witzke ever be elected to Congress? From Graphically Alex.
Lauren Witzke?
Yes. Do you know who she was?
Nope.
Blonde, crazy bitch that called for Victor's deportation on Twitter.
Oh.
Yeah,
oh,
you remember that?
Oh, is she the one you debated?
Yes.
She's running for Congress?
She was the Republican nominee for Senate in Delaware.
Okay, so will she ever get in Congress, right?
Yeah.
And say her name again?
Lauren Witzke.
Will Lauren Witzke ever get in Congress, right?
Yes.
And so I'm going to stop shuffling on that.
Stop.
Will Lauren Witzke ever get in Congress? 4 of Discs, 9 of Wands, 8 of Cups. I don't think so. I don't know if she's even going to want to do that. I think she's going to be busy holding on to what she has and very, you know, protective of herself and what she holds dear. And I think with the 8 of Cups, she's probably going to walk away. Walk away, Renee. Or
I hope she does. I think that would be better for everyone involved if Lauren Witzke went off and did whatever else Lauren Witzke wants to do. All right. Dragon Water wants to know, will Kate Brown lift the mask mandate when Oregon hits 70% vaccination? So Kate Brown, I think, is the governor of Oregon or something. I don't know. She's not the governor of Oregon. She's a mayor of Portland or something. Kate Brown is some sort of politician in Oregon. And there is a mask mandate, and she's been kind of a bitch about it. Will she lift the mask mandate when Oregon hits 70% vaccination?
And what's her name?
Kate Brown.
And what's the state again?
Oregon.
So when it hits 70%, is she going to lift the mask mandate, right?
Yes.
And I'm going to stop shuffling on that.
Stop. Oh, Adrian says she is the governor. I don't even know.
9 of Pentacles, 10 of Wands, the Sun. Yeah, there'll be a lot of pressure on her. It might be 75. But yeah, there's definitely a man that's involved that's putting a lot of pressure on her. So yeah. With the Sun card, yeah, new beginning. So there'll be a lot of pressure. It might be 75.
I did like Alex's contribution in the chat. Lauren Grifsky.
Ooh.
All right. AJ Starkhiker says, here's one. Do you think the networks will start adding a delay on live news to censor more Veritas defections? So, Joshua, you actually texted me this, and I had already heard about it already, but I was impressed that you heard about it when that reporter said on live TV, like, I basically gave information to Project Veritas and F you. Remember
Right.
that? That was
Yeah.
like a week ago. So, will networks start adding a delay to account for Project Veritas defections?
And I'm going to stop shuffling on that.
Stop.
Let's see here. 5 of Wands, 2 of Cups, Ace of Cups. I'm not sure about that because I think some of the people that would be responsible for creating the delay, they kind of want this information to come out. So with the 5 of Wands,
That's
like
funny.
yeah, it's sort of like, think of it like in the newsroom, like you got somebody who's like commanding everything, and they're like, yeah, say it, but he can't egg her on to say it because the guy across from him is his boss and doesn't want her to say it. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think there are too many people that actually are within the confines of the media that want the truth to come out. So it'd be hard for them to do that. Do you know what I mean? Especially with 2 of Cups is the truth. And then with Ace of Cups, I mean, I think that really, really hurt their, I think that really hurt how, their transparency and like how they're perceived. So I'd be very surprised if they did that.
All right. Excellent. Okay, fun question from Paul. And guys, I want to say we're probably going to go up to the end of the show with all the super chats that we have. So I'm going to recommend sending no more in right now. Paul wants to know, are the UFOs aliens or of a terrestrial nature? So Joshua, the government, like, this has been such a crazy year that the government has basically acknowledged the existence of UFOs and no one cared. So were they aliens or were they of a terrestrial nature?
Let's see.
I know your opinion on this, but you're going to psychic it anyway.
Yep. And I'm going to stop shuffling.
Stop.
Were the UFOs aliens? 5 of Wands, King of Wands, 9 of Cups. I think some were, and I think some were, trying to throw people off course. Like, I think some of them are, human beings pulling some chains.
They're being sneaky.
Well, they're I think trying to like throw people off, but yeah, I think that with 9 of Cups, yeah, I think that there is that they were that, but I also think with 5 of Wands, they're going to try to keep it, under wraps, most definitely.
All right. Alexandra super chats in. Hey, Tuesday guys, sending love to you, Carlin and Joshua. Peeps, we need you to mount that like it's your bitch. Alexandra's not messing around tonight, Joshua.
Yes, exactly.
This is all your fault, You were the one that started this.
I do. It's important to mount the like button. It's very important.
It's critical to the operation.
Especially today, because the moon is in Sagittarius, and Sagittarius loves mounting things. That's what Sagittarius wants to do. They want to mount.
Excellent. Yeah. You're a double Sagittarius, aren't you?
I have a lot of Sag in my chart. Yeah.
All right. Black Magic says, 38-year-old white man here. The world has always been against me. No, it hasn't. Never think the world is against you. Ever, ever, ever. The 22-year-old guy just doesn't get it yet. He seems rational and with a good heart, though. I really hope. Like, I don't know, Josh, I'm going to show you this video. Well, maybe you probably won't even want to see it, but like, I really hope that 22-year-old kid comes around. All right. Arcadian Twilight. Oh, I already know the answer to this question. Will you two ever get an invite to go on Tim Pool? The answer is no.
Will you get an invite?
Well, it says the both of us, but like...
Oh, I don't think I would ever be invited. It doesn't, there's no need for me to be there.
And I'm sure, pretty damn sure I'm never going to get invited, and I don't want to go anyway. But do you want to psychic it anyway?
Yeah, well, let's see if you'll ever get invited to go on Tim Pool, right?
Sure.
And tell me when to stop shuffling.
Stop.
Will you ever get a Tim Pool invite on his show? Queen of Wands, Six of Swords, and then Knight of Pentacles. I think in the future, I think that as things go on, over the next, say, 6 years, a lot can change. This transition for both of you. So it's interesting. I think that I think it's very probable. I wouldn't say soon. But yeah, I think that once there's a transition, once you especially transition, because it first starts out for Queen of Wands. So once you go through some transition in the future, that's probably going to open the doors for it.
Okay.
If you wish.
Fine. I don't think I would say yes, but whatever. I'm listening, Joshua, laughing my ass off at your description of AOC. I am now a believer. I bow to you. All right.
Great. Nauseating. Don't you find her nauseating?
I find
a lot. It's a lot to deal with. A lot. Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
G. Grimsley says, will Glenn Youngkin, December 19th, win or 9th of December, sorry, win the VA governor race in November? I don't know who that is. Glenn Youngkin? I have no idea who that is. Who is that?
Will Glenn Youngkin win the what?
Governor race in Virginia in November.
And say his name again.
Glenn Youngkin.
Will Glenn Youngkin win the governor race in Virginia, right?
Yes.
What's his last name again?
Youngkin.
Youngkin. And tell me to stop shuffling.
Stop.
Will Glenn win the governor's race in Virginia? 3 of Swords, 7 of Discs, Page of Swords. I don't think so.
All right. I have no idea who that is, so I don't have a horse in that race. All right, Infinite Slick, go fuck yourself, but thanks for the $5. KG, will VP Kamala Harris ever come to the southern border? That's a great question. Will Kamala Harris ever do her job and go to the border?
She hasn't even gone to Europe, okay?
Well, that explains everything.
No, that's what she said when an interviewer was like, "You haven't been to the southern border," and she's like, "I haven't been to Europe either."
Yeah, I know. It was like the most ridiculous thing ever, and she was trying so hard not to laugh because that's like all she knows how to do.
It's nervous. Okay, so will she ever go to? I imagine she's anyway.
Don't pollute your psychic tree, Joshua.
I know. Don't feed the meter.
Yeah.
Will Kamala go to the southern border? Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to stop shuffling on that.
Stop.
Will she go to the southern border? Page of Swords, 4 of Cups. I think so eventually. I think there's going to be a lot of pressure on her too. Begrudgingly, for what they were saying about her most likely. When the Ace of Pentacles, yeah. I think, once things more, stabilize, I think that she will. Yep. Eventually.
All right. Yeah. And here's our final super chat for the night from Sarah from New Zealand, Mayo Supremacist. Joshua, there's now a joke on my channel about mayonnaise because I came out of the closet as a hater of mayonnaise. For reasons that I have explained to you in the past, is a consistency issue. I think mayonnaise is bullshit. And so now there's an ongoing debate about mayonnaise on my channel. Congrats. What is your position on mayonnaise?
I think mayonnaise is awesome. I think it's terrible for you. So you should use it minimally, but it's a nice little treat, especially on a BLT. Yeah. With shredded lettuce and crispy bacon. Thanks.
I think I can have a BLT just fine without mayonnaise screwing up the entire sandwich.
It wouldn't be a BLT because BLTs are
it would be a BLT. BLT, the dairy definition of BLT is bacon, lettuce, and tomato. There is no M in a BLT, Joshua.
I mean, I thought you were an American, Carlin. I guess I was mistaken.
Well, apparently I'm just a grifter and like, you know, a troll and all these
How can
things.
you not like mayonnaise? I mean, it makes the sandwich.
Joshua, it's a consistency issue, okay? Especially when it gets warm, it's gross. It has a certain consistency.
Okay. I think it's great.
I think mayonnaise sucks. See, this is the debate we've been having for the last. This is what these white supremacists have driven me to, Joshua.
Oh,
fighting
no.
about mayonnaise on the internet. This is what they've driven me to.
That's terrible.
All right, guys. Well, that's all the time we have for tonight. If you would like Joshua to do actual professional psychicry, you can find him in the link below at psychicsun.com. You can do astrology. You can do tarot cards. You can just like talk to him for an hour. He can listen to you cry like he had to do with me the other day. Joshua provides a multitude of services. And he also has a YouTube channel that you can go and subscribe to for Joshua. What do you do on your YouTube channel? I don't even know.
I do a weekly show called Organize Your Ass Astrology, which sets you up for success for the week ahead based on what's going on in the stars.
All right. And I wanted to send an extra special thank you to all of the mods who are working so hard. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys very much. I think all the mods basically, except for a couple of them, are in my locals community. We're like a little family. If you really want to get away from the trolls, join my locals. There are no trolls because they have to pay money in order to comment, which keeps all of them at bay, even though they come and pay me to super chat and like talk smack at me. But I guess they're more willing to pay for super chats than they are for other things. Hey, I'm not inviting them. All right, guys, thank you for spending some time with us. We will be back next week after our super secret mission that we're executing on Saturday. It'll be very fun, but we'll look forward to seeing you guys then. Have a great rest of your night. Bye.